says if you are the game, then quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks! If you were gonna give the United States of America an enema, you'd stick the holes right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can sell your soul to the devil, but your ass belongs to Barack.
Hello everyone and welcome to Talk Town Network. Today it's only a two-person podcast with me and Adam.
Hello.
Okay, and well, this has been an interesting week. We've had quite a few walkouts.
Well, before we get into that, allow me to explain why it's a two-man podcast. Because Joe's a punk bitch who's all fucking himself. So, Joe, thank you for finally taking my advice, you piece of shit.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. If anything, that was the best way to open this.
I'm a master with words. But
yeah.
To the walkouts.
Yeah, I think that's basically what Joe's trying to accomplish right now.
He really doesn't need to walk out.
He doesn't. We happily open the door and kick him where the sun doesn't shine.
Do that? Throw a party? I mean... Literally,
Ethan could bring his My Little Pony balloons.
And this furry porn.
So on the topic of walkouts, I think the biggest one so far has been Neville. Because obviously he's been the shining light of 205 Live and just the entire Cruiserweight division.
Speaking of 205 Live and the Cruiserweight division.
God, what a hellhole.
Don't be surprised if more walk out. Apparently, Brian Kendrick is trying to keep morale up, but there are plenty of people who are starting to get frustrated, I guess.
Oh, I don't blame them.
So if they do leave, then you're losing out on quite a lot of talent.
Yeah. And the thing that sucks is this is coming the same year Austin Aries has left due to not feeling like he was used properly. And just, a bit over 4 years, if anything, almost 5 after CM Punk walked out and still has yet to talk to the company?
Yeah.
WWE needs to realize the proper way to use their talents. Otherwise, this is going to keep happening. They're going to make a bigger name elsewhere to actually give them competition.
Like, I don't know, Drew McIntyre did.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre made a huge name for himself. He buffed up, too.
I think he was actually still the same. He just got more tan, so to say.
I also think he got more of, like, a grunge look.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care so much anymore. He, like, let his beard actually grow out, and he didn't try and seem all proper.
As
proper as he could have been.
Something funny? Like, I remember his two matches with Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle was about to leave Impact. And let me just say, like, with all due respect to Kurt Angle and Seth Rollins' dream match, if they made it to where Kurt Angle would face Drew McIntyre for the entirety of WrestleMania, I would pay $100 for that.
That does sound like a good matchup. Kurt Angle had a lot of good matchups on the Indies then, so.
You're not wrong. It's just funny because we're talking about walkout still.
Yeah.
So I'll get into the Kurt Angle stuff a little bit later. But I do want to point out that Nia Jax didn't walk out. Apparently she just needed... No. According to Alexa, she just needed a reset. So she stepped away. I know there are reports coming out that she's unhappy with her position and not getting the Asuka match, but the only reason why I should be upset about that is because she's related to The Rock.
Yeah.
And that's about the only reason.
I think that's one of the only reasons she's probably hired.
You're not wrong.
There's someone who's a fan of Nia Jax, isn't there? I think it's Joe?
I don't know.
I know someone in the podcast is a fan.
I don't like her in the ring. I think she's boring and she's very green. But outside, I think she's perfect. She's a great person. So
Well, most people are. Like, you have... I won't say Baron Corbin, because Baron Corbin is a horrendous person outside of the ring, because I've met him and heard stories.
Oh.
Yeah, I met him. He seems nice, but if you have a girlfriend, I wouldn't have her around him.
Ooh. Well,
I'll
that
leave
wouldn't be a problem with any of us.
Exactly.
Unless Ethan starts turning a female pony. Wait. Hey, Ethan. What?
No, it has to be a male, because keep in mind, everyone at school thinks he's gay.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, I have a real question to ask. Like, this is the hard-hitting question of the podcast.
Well, this isn't Derek's question of the week.
Ethan, what would a female My Little Pony watcher be called?
I think we're going to be sitting here for a while with an answer, because didn't he say he was getting his haircut or something? Which is probably the most BS excuse I've heard.
He's going to get up for his boyfriend.
Anyway.
I'm just waiting for him to kick me at this point.
I won't be surprised. So let's see. We've had the walkouts. I think the only real issue would be how 205 Live would handle the whole Neville thing, because they can't even add someone decent until January 26th of 2018. Around that time, anyway.
Well,
that's if they decide to launch him straight to main roster, not NXT, which I highly doubt, because they didn't do that to Leo Rush.
Well, they didn't do that to Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Finn Balor.
I think the only person they really fast-tracked to main was AJ Styles.
Yeah, which it's understandable, but
AJ's
only at a certain. Yeah, well, so is Bobby Roode and Eric Young.
Yeah, Bobby Roode is, I think, a few years older than AJ. I think he's near 40.
I think they're both 40. If not, AJ Styles is like a year younger.
Bobby Roode is, why does it say Big Cass? Bobby Roode is actually 40. He's going to be 41 on January 1st. Well,
and it's funny to me.
They both are 40.
Wow.
That's insane.
I mean, I actually do want to run down what happened on Raw this week.
Yeah.
Like,
this week's Raw was actually, I would say, a decent go-home show.
It was good, but I have to point out something. Like, in the main event, nobody could get involved in the match. Remember that?
Yeah.
But
it's no DQ.
I know, but both teams were banned. So, I'm sitting here, and I'm thinking, well, if I'm WWE, this is a golden opportunity. Because you can have the Mizraj, or you can have the Mizraj brag about having Kane as their fifth man, only for it to be ripped from under their feet, and have Kurt Angle make it a 3-on-3 match.
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about how that would work. But technically, if you think about it, with it being a no DQ, granted, that was a rule that they shouldn't have broken, but them breaking it because it technically has no rules, WWE kind of trapped themselves in a corner with that. Because they did the same thing with Jericho or Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens last year at this point in their Falls Count Anywhere match. Jericho was banned from ringside, but there's no rules. So he walked out in the Sin Cara mask and assaulted Seth Rollins.
Yeah. But, that's just that's my complaint about it. It's something like that I understand why it would work, but, I mean, you make that stipulation.
You gotta follow suit with it.
Yeah. And personally, maybe have them attack before the match. Technically, they're not involved in the match, So they're not violating the stipulation, and they're helping out The Miz, or whoever he was. Oh, Raw. That's who he was
Yeah.
facing. But, I mean,
If
it's just one of
anything,
those things.
if anything, they didn't need Sheamus and Cesaro to interfere. They could have just got some like the Shield's old rivals to come out and interfere to keep Roman from climbing down, to where Braun could grab the vest and pull him back in. Because they said the teams. So like, if they wanted to save Kane even towards the end, one, he wasn't at ringside, so he's good with that. But if the whole thing was, okay, we need people to keep Roman from going outside, use the club, if anything. If you want to build toward a dream match, do that.
Yeah. Which, I know we'll get to the TLC predictions a little bit later. But or if I talk about one match real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so the Finn Balor and Sister Abigail match was changed to Finn Balor versus AJ Styles.
Sister Abigail works in weird ways, apparently.
Yeah. But I hate this. Okay? Not for any other reason except they screwed up what could have been a great story. Like, you have them wrestle at Survivor Series. Okay? And you have it to where the club interferes. Okay? If you want to set up the dream match, you can set up that way. Club interfere, and let's say they take out Finn Balor. Suddenly you've got a trio to take on the Shield at WrestleMania. But you could have had AJ Styles and Finn Balor wrestle, and actually just have a match, and essentially after that match, you have AJ Styles win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and defend it up until WrestleMania. At the Royal Rumble, you have Finn Balor win the Royal Rumble. You then have him say, instead of challenging for the Universal Championship, I want to avenge my loss to AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you've got a main event for WrestleMania that I challenge you to find a better option.
The thing is, they did what they could on short notice because of all the sicknesses that are apparently going on. Granted, I don't know what this is going to mean for SmackDown at this point, because technically SmackDown is owning Raw Superstar. So SmackDown should get something in return.
Yeah.
Whether that be a trade or a superstar from Raw's roster they can use, or just something overall. But if this is just, AJ's free, so we're using him, and it's a dream match that we're just deciding we want everyone to just go,
Yeah. Well, that was that's my whole problem. Like, I get using it as a dream match. Okay? But you're doing it the wrong way. You have it go up to WrestleMania. The reason?
Because this is an actual story.
Yeah. But on top of that, the Royal Rumble will mean something again. You know, instead of, the winner will challenge for his brand's top title. Like, yay. I don't care if I'm on Raw. What if I want the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
That could have been a good way for them to keep the whole Brock and Orton team thing kind of going, too, without them needing to break that whole thing up.
Yeah.
Granted, that would be a Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton triple threat match. I don't think anyone would want to see that.
I mean, as much as I hate to say it, like, if Randy Orton won the match, I wouldn't have cared. Okay?
Title would always be there, but Brock would complain because he didn't get the title.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at WWE. I mean, look at how many people are over 40 years old. Okay? Like, and it's even sadder considering how many of them are still considered main event talents. Like, I get they were big during the Monday Night Wars. But you have to look at it, you have to change with the time. Which, I know Impact gets a lot of shit. Okay, and I understand some of it. But I mean, they've actually transitioned to the future a lot better than people give them credit for.
I think one of the main reason Impact gets so much crap is just because of the bad name always surrounding it. Because there's always the, oh, no, people aren't getting paid. Oh, something wrong is going on. Talent are just leaving.
To be fair, okay, who does it mainly come from? Okay.
All the wrestling dirt sheets, mainly.
But who generally sparks it?
I just hear it from dirt sheets.
Yeah. Please go far. Oh, thank God.
What?
But there was a ball that was nearly crushed, but it went foul. But anyways.
Oh yeah, baseball.
Most of the bad stuff really comes from Dave Meltzer. Okay. And it's so funny to me because, like, he starts it right after they get up to a point where people are saying, wow, it's actually not that bad. He sends out a message on the Wrestling Observer, and it's like, okay, so you obviously don't like them. Why the fuck do you cover them?
Because it's Wrestling Observer. He has to observe all wrestling, apparently. Meanwhile, he seems to cater more towards New Japan and what they're doing as opposed to anything else. He favors that company.
He favors that? I would honestly say he favors WWE as well. I mean, you look at a site like Pro Wrestling Sheet that Ryan Satin is on. Satan? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Satin.
Satin?
Like satin sheets. Because if it's Satan, it'd be with an A. I believe it has an I in it.
Okay, so Satin?
Yeah.
Well, you look at his page. You look at Pro Wrestling Sheet. Okay? And you actually see fair and balanced coverage. Okay? And a lot of sites don't have that anymore. And I think it's a sign of how bad wrestling has actually gotten, in all honesty.
It's just because they want to become popular, so they cater towards the higher fan bases like WWE and New Japan. That's what I feel like is keeping Dave Meltzer as big as he is. Because he's focusing on WWE, New Japan, and somewhat of the indies. Not a lot, but he still like focuses from now and then. Like if something big happens on the indies, you hear about it because of Dave Meltzer.
Again, okay, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, wrestling's bad, and you look at how many pages are catering, like you said, to the big markets, so to say. But then you see a site like Pro Wrestling Sheet, and you see the fair and balanced coverage. Like, I'm somebody who enjoys wrestling, and seeing the fair and balanced coverage, that's fucking great. Because it's not a case of, oh, well, Impact's going out of business because they had something good happen, but we're creating up a doomsday scenario, essentially. Whereas Meltzer, and admittedly some of the other dirt sheets are there, oh, let's create a doomsday scenario just for shits and giggles.
And it doesn't help that because Dave Meltzer starts it, that the bigger things like Ringside News and whatever also pick it up, and then it just stirs, and then it actually creates bad publicity.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, it irks me to the point where
Don't die.
Sorry about that. But it's just one of those things that Like, I could rant on for an entire episode, but I won't. It's just something that, when you look at it, when you look at everything objectively, Impact is better geared for the future than WWE is right now. And I'm not saying that because I like Impact. I'm saying it because they've actually taken the right steps to move towards the next generation.
It doesn't also help that your statement is technically right, because most of their superstars end up leaving Impact, and then a few months later they get signed by WWE. Like James Storm, he actually was about to go to WWE, and then they, I guess, lowballed him on a paycheck.
Well, according to James Storm, it wasn't a case of they lowballed him. It's a case of they wanted to increase to like 120 plus shows.
Ooh.
Oh God. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Yes! Thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
I'm guessing Ethan is probably saying the same remarks right now.
If he's not, he's a dumbass. Oh my God. I just had Game 5 flashbacks there. But anyways, back to their actual wrestling.
Back to a real sport.
Yeah. It's funny because James Storm, he would have gone there. It was just a case of, apparently his wife wanted to have another child. So it was a case of, he was going to stay there. He decided to stay with Impact so he could be home more often. Okay? Which, it's a fair... I think people would understand it. So
yeah, that is a whole understandable situation. If they don't understand it, then I feel like there's an issue.
what's the issue?
I said if people don't understand the fact that he wants to be there for his child, then there might be an issue.
I didn't hear the first part.
It might have been because I was away from my mic.
Okay. I mean, on top of people leaving Impact at least.
Well, I mean, just people leaving overall.
Karen Terrell apparently left? I'm saying apparently because... Okay. Let me explain the situation. Okay. She was brought back to the Knockouts title match. But she left 3 weeks out from the pay-per-view. And I guess there's a report of her having a concussion. So, like, if it's a case of she has a concussion, then obviously her return wasn't meant to be, like, long-term. It was only going to be, hey, we're bringing you in, make A look strong on her way out. But aside from that, apparently there were personal reasons involved, so, I mean, I don't know if it's a case of she got the concussion and then the personal reasons came up, or if the personal reasons came up, she talked to them, and they wrote her out that way. Then she got concussion because of something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, TNA news. I feel like one big piece of news that we probably should cover before anything else is Bubba Ray announcing his retirement.
Yeah.
I found a whole speech of it. He brought a kid in to give him the last piece of a table he ever broke in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what he talked about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about on the show today.
Oh, that I didn't hear. I only saw his speech from the Ring of Honor show.
Okay, so essentially he talked about ring rust and how quickly it forms, so to say. Apparently, if he was in his 30s, he wouldn't have retired. But since he's in his 40s, and the ring rust will settle in pretty quickly, it's going to be harder for him to get it off, and he'd have to start back at square one. So instead of doing that, he said, screw it, I'll retire, because he didn't want to perform at a lower level than he can. So, I understand him retiring, but it's just one of those situations where it's funny, because Bully Ray is one of the most underrated characters ever. Okay?
Well,
And
it's no matter what organization he's in or what gimmick he's going as. I think his Bully Ray gimmick was the one most people liked. Because it allowed him to use have more freedom from what WWE did with him, especially when they split up him and Devon.
yeah. Well, it was funny because Bully Ray, to be fair, he didn't come into his own until he started helping out Brooke and Hulk Hogan when they were in TNA Impact. I don't like talking about those years, but this is probably the one time that I would say I love it. Like, to put it simply, they had Bully as a babyface, and at Lockdown they turned him heel, and revealing himself as the president of Aces and Eights. A stable that was surprisingly...
It was kind of like a motorcycle game.
Yes. It was actually pretty good. Kind of like Sons of Anarchy. But people were just there. Oh, it's like the NWO.
Because wasn't the whole thing like he was attacking people or whatever? And
the
like
Aces
Devon
and
wasn't...
were.
I thought there was something about like, Aces and Eights were attacking him, or like there was some weird connection, and then it ended up being him behind the whole thing. But I swear he was involved by getting like attacked.
The whole connection was Bobby Roode pointing the finger at James Storm, who kept on denying it. When the Aces finally attacked Storm, people realized it. But the Aces attacked anyone and everyone, essentially. And it was funny, at Lockdown, like, it was an old school feel. Okay? And I mean that in the sense of it ended with Trash being thrown in the ring, and Bully, in all of his heelish glory, looking at Hulk and saying, He looked at Brooke and told her, I screwed you. And it was one of those moments where, like, him being a heel was just amazing. Then he told Hogan that he used him. So it was a case of, like, it was at that moment when people started realizing just how good the Bully Ray character was. But, God, that whole thing after the end of the match with Jeff Hardy, that was what really sold me on it.
I think the only one thing I remember about Bully Ray and TNA was him powerbombing Dixie Carter through a table, I believe in New York, in the Hammerstein Ballroom. Oh my goodness, the place lit up.
You want to know something even funnier? Like, that actually broke Dixie's back.
Did it?
Yeah. And it was so funny because people were shitting on her, but she was willing to take that bump. Whereas, we look at Stephanie McMahon, and she doesn't take bumps except for WrestleMania, and those are accidental.
They're staged as accidental. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns spearing her should have technically been a disqualification.
Yeah. And it's even better because Dixie actually isn't trained to take bumps like that. So, the fact that she did that, like, I don't care how you feel about her, you have to give her credit for that.
Yeah. If anyone, I feel like if anyone takes either a powerbomb bump or a table bump, you have to give them some sort of respect because those are things that can easily go wrong.
Yeah.
Granted, any type of bump could easily go wrong, but power bump I feel is one of the most dangerous, along with a pile driver and a table bump. Because if you miss that table, you're screwed depending on where you're dropping from.
Yeah. I mean, with it being Boy Ray, like, let's be realistic. Okay? He is one of the cleanest workers in the ring. Or was.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad he has his own school with Devon.
Yeah, it's in Florida. I think they have one in Florida and one in
the New England area.
Yeah. I think that was one that either just recently opened up or opened up around a year ago.
Yeah, they opened. Yeah, it's fairly new. But, like, learning from somebody that smooth in the ring, like, you can't get a better teacher than that. But, I do want to talk about the Global Wrestling Network real quick.
Oh, the whole not secure thing? Or just overall, how it's just bad?
It actually isn't bad. Like, is it good? Not really, but it only launched, like, what, 2-3 weeks ago?
Around.
And the not secure thing, I don't see... I didn't get that message when I downloaded it.
Well, I believe it was in the Chrome site. Like, it didn't show the HTTPS thing, which would tell you if it's secure.
Okay.
And just like in the site, it just said in like a parentheses, not secure.
Well, wait. Because I believe I went to the website and it said it was secured. But I used my phone, so...
Maybe it was something that changed, or just overall it just didn't show up.
It could have just been something that, like...
What is it, GFW Network?
Global Wrestling Network.
Oh.
It actually works because they've got independents from Canada, like Smash Wrestling and Border City Wrestling. Okay. I think they're going to add in some more. I'm not 100% certain. But, I mean, they've got Impact episodes from the last year and this year. And then they have the pay-per-views from, like, 07 through 2015 or something like that. But right now there's a lot of locked content. But I'm on a free trial, so I don't know if it's locked because of that, or if it's just a case of they're slowly rolling it out.
But, I mean, anything is possible, because GFW obviously, like, I don't even think I think it got like one season or whatever for like a TV, but it was like on some unknown network.
GFW?
Yeah, well, GFW before it merged with Impact.
Oh, it didn't even get a season.
Really?
It taped episodes at the Orleans Arena in Vegas. They could not shop it to any network.
Wow.
Like, there's one of the reasons why I didn't want Jarrett to come back, in all honesty. But with him gone now, and the GFW name apparently gone as well, like, I like Jarrett, but I feel like Ed Nordholm's doing a better job than people want to give him credit for.
Well, because if you give like GFW or whatever credit, people think you like a terrible program.
Yeah, I mean,
what?
Nordholm has a better business sense than anybody realizes. Because, like he said, he's doing the tapings he's doing Bound for Glory and the tapings afterwards in the Aberdeen Pavilion. And he's not hoping to sell the arena out. Okay, he wants at least 500 people for every taping and the wrestling or Bound for Glory. Okay.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not. And it's actually, it's how they should have done 2013. But they didn't, so it hurt them. Okay. But now that Nordholm's taking over, it's clear that he wants to build up the right way. Like taping some one-night onlys in Oklahoma this weekend, apparently. But is there anything you want to talk about before we get to predictions?
Wow, there's a lot more on here than I thought there was. I don't know why the Shield will help Roman thing is on here. I don't know what he meant by that. Sister Abigail is just a straight up weird thing. Oh, I understand it now. Will the Shield help Roman's kind of push towards the crowd?
Yeah, it won't. You saw that already.
I mean, people were fist bumping him in the crowd, if that's a hint to anything.
But then they booed him when he came out by himself.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand the crowd. Let's just hope he doesn't come out to the Rumble in Philadelphia if the Shield breaks up.
I can explain the reaction simply. Okay. It's the same thing with Bullet Club. Like, if you see some of them, you're going to want to sweep them.
Oh, of course.
Okay. But then if you see them by themselves, I mean, it loses that mystique. Like, for example, if you saw, I don't know, I'll say Bad Luck Ballet, like, yeah, he's going to look intimidating, but you're going to sit there and say, if we had the rest of the Bullet Club, that would be better.
Yeah.
And
like, they're obviously the main stars of Bullet Club that everyone loves, like Marty Scurll, Omega, and the Bucks, and starting now Hangman Page. But I feel like if you see like Gorillas of Destiny or like Bad Luck Fale, as you said, it kind of like would wear off. Like, these guys are good, but they need something.
Yeah, and that's the same way it is with Reigns. So that's why I don't think it's going to help him.
Yeah, if they break up the Shield, he's screwed.
Yeah.
Unless they give him a monster heel push and he's the one that breaks up the Shield.
And we all know that won't happen.
There's the slim chance. There's that very small chance it could happen. Because if he breaks up the Shield, becomes the heel.
The slim chance is the same chance that Ethan gets a supermodel girlfriend.
The chance is still there, and it is a possibility. It's just not a high one.
There is a chance. But you have a better luck of taking a flying pig to a gas station and getting the winning lottery tickets. Okay. Like, and that's not me being mean or anything. That's just me giving you an honest
answer.
Giving you an honest, realistic look at the odds of it happening. Okay. But do you want to talk about Sister Abigail for a few?
I mean, it went from Bray Wyatt to Sister Abigail to AJ Styles, apparently. So I guess AJ Styles is now Sister Abigail? Is that how that works?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Corey Graves said that,
no.
so... Oh, God.
Oh, God, no. Why?
What?
Allow me to sing you the song to my people. Fuck off, Yankees. Take a giant cactus and fuck yourselves in the ass with it. No one likes you. Please fuck off.
But Corey Graves said, I guess, AJ Styles is Sister Abigail now on Twitter, so... I mean, if he says it, if anything's true.
Yeah. But what else was on the list?
the list of Derek, it says Kurt Angle. We mentioned Pentagon Jr. is a new Lucha Underground champion, even though it might not be getting renewed for his 4th season, depending on how everything goes.
Yeah, well, if it gets renewed, there might not be as many backstage segments, which, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Lucha Underground or their backstage segments. So,
is anyone really a fan of backstage segments, though?
I don't mind them if they're done well, but these come off as like cheesy B, maybe C-rated movies. Okay, like it's a case of like they lose the backstage segments and focus on the in-ring talent. It's going to be pretty damn good, but that's if they do it.
Yeah. Because they kind of build it like a soap opera, which is weird for a wrestling show.
I mean, WWE does it, so.
Yeah. But WWE has more wrestling, I feel like, most times than backstage segments. Because I believe they had a whole thing where someone turned into a dragon in one of their episodes for Lucha Underground. And this was around the same time when Maria got hit by a train in TNA.
Yeah. That storyline with... It wasn't Maria, it was Mickie James.
Oh, was it Mickie James? Name with an M shows you how much I pay attention to TNA.
Actually, funny story about it. It was Mickie James being pushed into the train tracks, and they cut away to obviously keep the suspense. But it was because James Storm was feuding with her real life husband, Magnus, or known as Nick Aldis. So yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I didn't realize they were together. And then she got pregnant and announced they were together. And yeah. It's weird and long to explain.
I mean, if we're talking weird, but obviously not going to be a long match, we got Jinder versus Brock possibly happening. I don't know why Jinder would want that death wish.
Again, I mean, give us interpromotional matches like, I don't know, Finn Balor versus AJ Styles.
But we're getting that.
And I'm going to say it right now, I don't think it's going to live up to that hype. Like,
only WWE match that gets 6.5 stars.
Like, here's the thing. Like, unless it's a case of Finn Balor's moving to SmackDown afterwards, like, it's going to be one of those matches where you just watch and you're there, boy, why did they do that? Why not wait? Because
WWE needed a quick replacement, I guess, for Bray Wyatt, and I don't understand why, of all people, AJ Styles. But this could have been a good thing to where if they were worried about Bray Wyatt, they could have said Sister Abigail, or he could have mentioned, like, Sister Abigail will make her only appearance at TLC and have no promo cut for her. Build the suspense, and then be like, and then have him like cut an online thing saying, "Oh, Sister Abigail won't be here tonight, so I found a replacement for you."
Yeah.
Like, build something up to where, okay, he can't be here, but who's his opponent going to be? Don't announce it either.
Thank you. You understand how to tell a good story.
I mean, it's also a way for Derek to just like have a seizure then on his couch when AJ Styles comes out against Finn Balor in a surprise manner.
I mean, again, you're telling a good story. Besides, I mean, let's be realistic. Derek won't be on the couch. He'll be
on the toilet.
He'll be in his Balor shrine.
Oh, you mean the one that he wants to buy from me? Because I've accidentally built one with all the Finn Balor merch I have. Okay, I think.
Okay.
I think all that's left now is TLC predictions, and then obviously the question of the week.
Okay. Well, I know the pre-show match is going to be Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I do want to give congratulations to Alicia Fox. She got her first piece of merch after 10 years. Yep. Crazy like a fox or something like that. First piece of merch after 10 years in the WWE.
I mean, Rosa Mendez didn't get any merch, I think. Rosa Mendez, a lot of women actually didn't get merch, if you think about it.
I know. I'm just pointing it out. But it's clear that Sasha is going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually don't expect a lot from it.
I don't think anyone really expects anything from this match. I think everyone's just gonna have this match up just for the pay-per-view to actually start.
Yeah.
Is there another pre-show match? Because I know Drew Gulak is doing his PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, he's doing his PowerPoint presentation. So if there's a match, I don't know.
I think that's the only kickoff match from what I found. Both of the Cruiserweight matches are actually on the normal show, which is pretty good. Granted, they don't really have much of a card to fill.
Yeah. We say that now, and tomorrow they'll have one of the Cruiserweight matches on the pre-show.
Yeah, what are they going to do to fill up that extra 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander might be longer than 5 minutes. Because they're going against Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, who's a heel now, and he's actually doing that pretty well with his style.
Yeah.
Interesting thing is, he fights in his suit now.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I guess being a heel makes you too lazy to undress.
I don't know. But which card are you going off of?
I'm going off of Uproxx's card, which was posted today. I'm going to guess before the Kurt Angle and AJ Styles thing happened, because I still have it listed as the Demon versus Sister Abigail.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going up from kickoff match upward. So I'm going to say Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher.
Ooh.
Faces stood tall on Raw and 205 Live. That's usually not a good sign. Whoever stands tall on the go-home show usually loses.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, credits to WWE, because both teams could win.
Yeah.
But I would honestly go with the heels, just because I think TJP is going to get involved.
Yeah, he does have the thing with Rich Swann going.
Yeah. So he gets involved, and it leads to a new match, to a 6-man tag match at Survivor Series.
Yeah, I feel like the only way they really could do a decent match with them is by building like some sort of multi-man match. Like, try to get more people involved.
Yeah,
so
like
that way
Mustafa Ali.
He's been wasted. I mean, so is Lindsay, but dang, at least Mustafa Ali kind of does something.
I didn't realize Cesar Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah. But, I think the only appearance he's made on Raw was in a tag match where he lost to Brian Kendrick, and after Raw when they all beat up Enzo.
But Mustafa Ali, like, he is so freaking talented. Like, his finisher is perfect for him.
Yeah. It's a very flashy move, but it fits with everything he does.
Yeah. But what's the next match?
Overall, the heels are winning, I feel, because if they're building Gallagher as a heel, that's the only way they can. Next match, we'll go with Asuka versus Emma.
Boy,
This is
did
a
that
hard
go
one.
Such a hard one.
I mean,
Like,
it's like if only WWE had an event that had a 30-man people in it, and the winner got to choose a belt to fight for. Sadly, I don't think they have that idea. We were talking about this earlier.
I know.
It would be a great match idea, wouldn't it? I think you said it should be called something like the Royal Rumble, which fits perfectly.
Royale
Yeah,
Rumble.
because you added
Just
the
something
E
like
afterward.
that.
It sounds like a very good match type. It also would help if people entered every 90 seconds, as opposed to all of them being clustered in one ring.
It is so perfect. I wish WWE would actually do it though, but they won't.
They're not that smart.
Yeah.
But just like that sarcasm, you might as well be as sarcastic as saying Emma's gonna win.
Like, I want her to win, but let's be realistic, okay?
Okay, we're being realistic?
She's got, what, 2 wins in the past year or so?
I think 1. What else has she won besides the Fatal 5-Way match?
Didn't she win I thought she won something else.
I highly doubt it. I think the only thing she might have come close to winning was the women's match from, what was it, SummerSlam? Or there was one, I've forgotten by this point, but it was one pay-per-view. It was, we all said Emma was going to take the pin and she didn't. I think that's the closest thing we would classify as a win for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. Like, oh, Emma's just in there to take the pin. Baby eats the pin. Holy fuck, we were wrong. Thank Christ.
But Asuka's winning this. They're saving up Asuka just so she can go to WrestleMania, then lose to Alexa Bliss for her first match because they're so high on Alexa Bliss for some reason.
I actually don't think that's going to happen.
It wouldn't surprise me if it does. That's the thing. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if it happens.
Here's my thing. I think they're going to move Alexa back to SmackDown. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she's a good in-ring worker. Okay. She's good on the mic. She's only been wrestling, what, 2-3 years? Something like that?
And in NXT, I believe she debuted in early 2014.
So about 3 years.
About 4.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But she's actually dedicating herself to improving.
Yeah. And she's actually trying to do things differently. She brought back the DDT as a finisher, which you don't see anymore.
Yeah. But you have to look at the Raw women's division and the SmackDown women's division. In Raw, you know she's going to defend the belt against Sasha Banks, Bayley, and then Asuka. Literally, the only reason why they're throwing Mickie James this bone right now is just because Sasha and Bayley are tied up, or apparently. But so yeah.
So it's just the way they book Asuka really just depends on how much that they have planned for her.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's something decent. Next, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James.
Alexa Bliss?
Yeah. If they put it on Mickie, I could see why, because they're probably trying to make her do something. But their best bet is keep it on Bliss.
Yeah, but remember, Mickie stood tall on Monday night.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the best example, if you're going off of that, was Undertaker stood tall in the Go Home show to Raw before Mania 30.
Yeah.
Okay, then the Demon versus AJ Styles. I said the Demon.
Remember when I said that the club could attack?
Yeah.
What stops them from attacking now?
But what stops them from attacking both of them at once? Like Gallus goes after the Demon, Anderson goes after Styles.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad, per se. But the whole thing is, you'd have to move either AJ Styles to Raw or Finn Balor and the club to SmackDown.
I'd rather have them.
I'd rather have them on SmackDown.
But SmackDown's not doing so good right now. That would give Road Dogg all the opportunities he wants to have tag team matches.
Yeah. But on top of that, they could try to rebuild the club as credible threats. And they've got a tag team feud that could lead to one teams gaining the tag titles.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I would actually love to see the club feud with the Usos.
It would be fun. Like, I'm not even the Usos' biggest fan, but I mean, that would be something fun to see. Wow.
What?
Astros are up 5-1, or 6-1 actually. And there was a throw that should have nailed the 6th run, but the catcher couldn't handle it.
Okay, afterwards we got Kalisto versus Enzo.
Okay. I hate saying it, but Enzo.
That's what brought life to the Cruiserweight division, sadly.
I mean, not really.
I mean, think about it. They did get main event spots because he was there. Granted, that could have just been WWE's plan, but if you're going off of kayfabe, all the spots they've gotten in the time slot, because Enzo joined.
I see your point, but I want you to look at it a different way. Okay. Since Enzo joined, Neville left, and apparently a whole lot more are about to leave.
Well, that's just because no one likes Enzo.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, this is one of those cases where it's just obvious. Like, they tried to make it look difficult, but I think we all saw it coming.
Yeah. Sadly, won't be happy if Enzo wins, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
And then the main event, the only TLC match on the card. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle versus The Miz, Cesaro Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Kane.
Well, before I get into that, I just realized something. There's no tables matches. There's no ladder matches.
There's no chair match.
Yeah.
There's one TLC match on the card.
Like, are they going to get rid of this then? Like, is
maybe
this the last year for it?
Maybe they wanted to center more on one match as opposed to multiple matches. Like, put the focus actually on one match as opposed to what they did for the past few years now. But they should have done the same thing with Hell in a Cell.
Well, I want you to remember to think back to last year's TLC. They had tables match and all that.
They had a ladder match. Did they? I forgot TLC's card entirely.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, it was Ambrose and Styles where Ellsworth interfered, I think. No, that was a TLC match.
Yeah, but it was Dolph Ziggler and The Miz, I believe, in the ladder match.
Oh, yep. I had that one I remember.
But,
and the chairs match was Corbin and Kalisto, which was very good.
Yeah. But they built it around the one match. The others were just an added bonus. So why couldn't they do it here? This year?
Not sure. I feel like because none of the matches have a feud that really call for it. Because Kalisto and Enzo, oh boy, they've been feuding for a month. Let's give them some tables.
Here's my thing then. Like, they have to get rid of this pay-per-view and save the TLC matches for feuds that deserve them. And my prediction for the TLC match: Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle.
Yeah. It was a lock with the Shield returning, and then Roman got pulled out and put in for Kurt Angle, and I think it's an even bigger lock now.
Like, it is like when the Shield reunited and the match was made. Yeah, you were like 4 feet away from the biggest target in the world.
Yeah.
Okay? And you were given a gun or a bow that had something that could actually reach the target. Now you're just standing in front of the barn, and you're about to take out the target.
You're standing outside of a barn with an RPG right now.
Yeah. Like, that's literally what it is.
All I hope to see is either Kurt Angle perform an Angle Slam on Braun Strowman.
You won't.
Oh, sadly, I don't think he will, but I hope he does. That'd just be a sight. Or someone get thrown off a ladder through something. Hopefully it's not the same spot Seth Rollins took in his first TLC match. Because, God, that was painful.
I mean, I do want to say something. You could see an Angle Slam through a table.
Good.
Maybe off a ladder.
Oh, God, no.
So...
That's not a thing that needs to happen.
I'm just pointing it out.
I know you're pointing it out, but that could end up bad. Because of the rotation he'd need to try and do to perform it. He might end up hitting the ladder.
I know. But it's funny because Kurt Angle has a history of neck problems.
Oh, he does.
And they cleared him. Yeah, and they cleared him. Daniel Bryan, I know concussions aren't the same thing as neck problems, but...
Concussions are bad.
Yeah. I mean, it is essentially the same thing, because one bad move, and suddenly... Yeah. So, it's actually kind of interesting now.
I mean, you're just quoting what Daniel Bryan said on Twitter at that point. He legitimately retweeted the article saying, interesting, and then just left it at that.
Not surprised. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, could they be bringing Daniel Bryan back? Or is it just a case of they don't think the neck problems are as bad as they really are? Or
it might be they don't. It might be they think it's better now because Kurt. I feel like they're trying to put him in a spot with a bunch of safe workers, and that's what most of these men are. They are extremely safe workers. Only one who probably could be the most harmful is Braun. And that's just if something goes wrong. That even might not be his fault. Because the Dean Cesaro situation was, Cesaro got too much leap off. That's the whole thing with it. That wasn't Dean's fault. That was, I won't necessarily imply that it was Cesaro's, but he jumped too high.
It was 50-50.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm glad they have Kane in there to kind of guide Strowman through the moments.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that it needs to be pointed out.
Yeah, because last thing we need to deal with is Kurt getting injured in this match.
Yeah.
God. Why didn't they just replace Roman with someone else? Like, if they wanted to bring back Kurt, why not save him for Mania?
That's actually what I was considering. Like, why wouldn't they? And I've been thinking about it. And I've actually got a theory about it. If Angle returns today, or not today, but this weekend, let's say Cesaro doesn't attack match and match and put him on the shelf, so to say, until the Royal Rumble, They have the new Raw general manager. And then suddenly, at Royal Rumble, Angle returns and eliminates Cesaro, leading into a match between the two at WrestleMania.
God, that would I feel like they don't want to risk something when it comes to certain wrestlers.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think Cesaro is one of, if not the best, in-ring worker in
I mean, you saw how he
WWE.
worked circles around Roman Reigns leading up to Survivor Series.
That's not saying much.
I mean, he did a freaking cartwheel off the top rope to show off.
Again, I mean, it's just one of those cases where it's like, if that happens, they're putting a lot of faith in Cesaro.
Yeah. What if Jason Jordan interferes?
I don't think he will. He may be sick with meningitis as well, or mumps or whatever.
Yeah. WWE has just been an interesting place this whole week with all the different things coming out, especially more about the walkouts, the predictions, or our predictions, and just overall the TLC card in general and what's happened on Raw and SmackDown. But overall, our question of the week kind of centers around them, kind of doesn't. It involves Ricochet. I mentioned this earlier. He'll become a free agent January 26, 2018. Will he be coming to NXT? I'm adding to this. If it's still around, will he be sent to 205 Live?
If he goes to WWE, I think he'll go to NXT then to 205. But that's if he goes.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think he's going to stay with New Japan.
If he stays with New Japan, it'd obviously be better for him. But I feel like the best thing for him right now is just to troll everyone and make them think he's going to WWE, and stay like with New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Yeah, well, it's actually funny because, like, with all the walkouts happening, and as I pointed out, Drew Galloway, he made a name for himself outside of WWE.
Uh-huh.
Cody Rhodes is now doing the same thing. So, what's stopping everyone else from doing the same thing?
Majority of them already had names outside of WWE. WWE just improved their names a lot, or discredited them, depending on how they were used. Because I feel like the only one that might not walk out is Jack Gallagher.
Yeah.
Just because, if anything, he can fall back on the UK promotion. If they do one.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, because, like, you look at somebody like Drew Gulak. He could go back to the indie.
Oh, yeah.
He could go back to the independent scene and get good paying money. And that's not just I don't have the right words to phrase it, so I'm going to say it like that. Drew Gulak doing that, it wouldn't be bad, but it'd be one of those things where, like, if he doesn't get the extra money, then is he going to blame himself or everyone else?
I feel like he can't blame everyone else because everyone else probably just became bigger names. If anything, he'd obviously get paid more for just being an ex-WWE superstar. That just puts something on you. Like, even the people who were just in NXT for a bit got something off of that.
Yeah.
But he he can't blame himself because of the way he was booked.
Yeah.
Because they harmed him, he had to go along with it. Otherwise, he might have just got nowhere.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just asking because I know Aries tweeted out that, like,
he's going to make more money in 6 weeks in doing indie shows than he has in his WWE career.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is ridiculous. And that's one of the things that upset Neville, too, because he knows that the same thing could happen to him if he went to do indies.
Yeah. Well, they were both pissed about their match being cut off.
Yeah, because it was pre-show. And they would have gotten royalties if they were on it, and they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, since it was the first match, it was one of those things that really pissed them off the most, I think. And they cut that one match out. Did
they not have the Dean Ambrose Baron Corbin match on there? Because that was also a pre-show match.
Did.
Okay, then that's just screwed up then.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of the thing that, like, I understand them being pissed off. Mm-hmm. And the walkouts may be happening. Like, it's just, yeah. But where do you think Ricochet is going?
Feel like he might end up. It's like this. He might end up here. It's a bigger chance than Roman turning heel, but there's obviously the chance. Obviously, way higher than Ethan getting a supermodel girlfriend or girlfriend at all. But overall, if he wants to become more known, which is difficult at this point, he could go there and try and succeed. If anything, it'd just be another thing off of his bucket list to try and do. But they might try and hold him down with his style like they did to most cruiserweights from the Cruiserweight Classic. What the world?
Yeah.
So, anything else to say? Any more jokes?
As far as the UK show, it might become something like the King of the Ring.
I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot cooler than Ethan.
Anything's cooler than Ethan.
Good point. On that note, before Ethan tortures us with furry porn, I think we should call it a podcast.
I was going to say something, but now I forgot. Dang it!
Oh, come on. Say it.
No, I legitimately forgot. It was something making fun of Ethan.
You forgot something that big? I am so disappointed in you.
I mean, that sounds like you're just talking to Ethan or Joe at that point.
Good point.
And on that note, Talks Count Anywhere. I'd say we stretched this over an hour, but you know what? There was an overtime. The score matched 2-2. Oh, Adam, I just remembered. Before we go, how's your pinfall search going? Because that ended last week.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I've actually been looking for it. I know it happened, but I haven't been able to find the evidence.
So therefore, because there's no evidence...
Therefore, I know it happened. I know it because I saw it.
Where'd you see it?
I honestly don't remember the match. That's the thing that pisses me off the most.
Was it in WWE?
Because keep in mind, WWF.
Keep in mind, it had to be WWE. I say WWF would count because it's the alternate name because they had to get the F out. But if it wasn't in WWE or WWF, then you're screwed.
I want to say it happened in like 97 or 98. I just don't remember. Because I watch wrestling, but not all that often. And it was a case of, it was something that I didn't expect to see, so I just didn't put it down. Okay?
I'm trying to find it for you, but okay. I'm having no luck. I'm finding stuff on the game. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I was finding.
Basham Brothers. Oh my goodness, that's old. I'm
seeing
seeing legitimately just double clotheslines, no double pin things, or no double pins on each other. Oh, I think you might have lost, dude.
You do realize what's going to actually happen, don't you?
What?
Like, I'm going to look on the results website, like online world of wrestling.
You had to last week, so technically you already lost.
I know, but I'll just look it up there and I'll fucking find it, and like I'll just share it now saying.
What was the whole thing for you losing this? Do you remember? Because I don't. I think you had to say something.
Oh yeah, Joe's a punk bitch.
No, that was if you won.
Oh, to be fair, that's no matter.
True.
Even if I lost, I still get to say it. But
yeah, you probably say it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like the next episode would be titled "Adam's a Dumbass" or something like that.
Yeah, so I guess I will. No, we have to call it. Not on this one because this is TLC predictions.
Yeah.
So next episode.
Looks like I get off scot-free, so go fuck yourself, bitch.
Well, you don't, because it's going to be next episode, unless Ethan decides to put it in the title of this one.
Listen, if I find it, I'm going to call you guys a dumbass. You realize this, right?
You had till last week, dude. You've lost at this point. You find it, okay, it happened, but you still lost.
And I still
had a week.
Dumbass. Listen,
anyway.
You give me a reason to call you a dumbass, I'm calling you a dumbass.
Yeah, why do you think we were arguing about this whole thing? It's because you're a dumbass.
Well, we're retarded.
You thought the pin would happen at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I did. I thought it'd be something like that, because I really don't have faith in WWE at all.
Well, but they're doing the Sammy thing so well.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now, sadly. But I don't think that'll be a long-lasting thing.
You're not wrong.
Oh, apparently Joe says he had to say that we were right, meaning me and him, and that you are a dumbass.
Well, since Joe's not here, he can go fuck himself.
Okay, you can still say that.
Okay. Like, I'll say you were right.
It's because of you.
But Joe's not here, so fuck that.
Plus, he probably won't listen to this anyway.
Good point.
So if he doesn't listen to it, how's he supposed to know you said it?
Exactly.
Just like Ethan's probably just here listening, but we could still say he's a brony piece of shit.
Well, he's probably rubbing one out to furry porn.
Oh yeah, I gotta use that good old Rule 34.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you know that Rule 34 doesn't have a good story?
What?
Yeah.
This is for a different discussion later on, but this match obviously went into overtime. It was 2-2. I think I won at the very end with a 2-3 argument. If this was a debate, because your stupid pinfall argument.
And I think I won 3-2 because
Joseph's not here.
They just has Hell in a Cell predictions, so he can go fuck himself.
Anyway, this is always just a fun podcast, but we will see you all next week. And Joe, stop blowing up the Facebook notifications.
Blame Ethan. He needs to say his furry porn friend.
Don't be sure to listen to this week's podcast. Nah, he won't. But that is Toxicon Anywhere. See you all next week.